way too early in a bad mood, and I laugh at you. I love making you coffee, so much cream it's almost white. Love watching movies with you, even movies I don't like. I love the days and normal ways we get to be together. Wish it lasts forever. I've loved so many things, even more than you know. When the seasons have changed us, I searched for your ghost. Every time that I found you, I have learned to let go. More than anything about you, I love you the most. 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 I love the way you love me through my faults and imperfections, never holding them against me. I love to say I do the same for you, but I'd be lying. You tell me that I'm trying. I love making you oatmeal with bananas on the side.
Hello.
There he is, the
Hey,
man,
how you doing?
the myth, the legend. Marc Scibilia, how are you, man?
Good. This is probably exactly the same way I saw you last time.
I know, I love it, man. Great to see you. Great to see you, Marc.
Great to see you too.
Marc, before we start, I feel like I have a bone to pick with you. We
Let's
gotta
take it.
start. We gotta start with the bone, man. I've been
Yeah.
in Nashville a little bit over 2 years,
Yeah.
and you keep flaunting these delicious barbecues, saying, "Where's the
Yeah.
invite?" You know,
Yeah.
the best meats in East Nashville in Madison. I don't know where they're coming from, but it looks amazing. It looks delicious. And we just want to know, when is the invite coming?
When
Where's
is
the
it?
invite?
You know what? I've been a little slow on the meats, honestly. I need to be cooking more. Yeah. The invite is coming. I got to get back in the groove. I got to
Oh,
get back
Marc.
in the groove.
No, I love it, man. But let me ask you, is this an enjoyable season for you, Marc? You've been running nonstop. And what I mean is December, the industry kind of slows down a little bit. It's like halfway speed. People are at home. People are in Nashville. Do
Yeah.
you kind of enjoy this like 2, 3 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, I'm working almost just as hard. Like, I noticed there's a few less things on my calendar, but like generally speaking, yeah, I'm still kind of ripping pretty hard, honestly, because I have a bunch of music that I'm trying to finish, and
Sure.
like as a producer, like I'll a lot of times have a bunch of tracks that I'm working on, and then I don't get to them. So then I probably have 5 or 6 songs I got to finish right now,
Mm,
like, and I try and, so I've kind of always got a list that I'm working on. So unfortunately, it kind of just doesn't
yeah.
end.
It never ends. I got you. I got you, Marc. And there's something I wanted to ask you, Marc. I don't know how to articulate this question perfectly
Yeah.
because I'm not a musician, but there are certain moments in your songs, and maybe you can help me articulate it better.
Yeah.
But because you seem to get it, like when Tom Petty plays Free Fallin' and you're driving through Gallatin or whatever,
Right.
he hits certain notes that you get the chills. You get the
Right. Yeah.
chills. It runs up your spine. And in songs like Rivals or
Right.
90s or Young, Wild and Free, it's the same thing, Marc. I think when writing hit songs, there's gotta be a trick. Like with paintings, there's tricks to get the people in, and really good musicians know how to do certain notes that they hit. I
Right.
don't know how to articulate this question, but I think I know where you're coming. What I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. I mean, I'm always just trying to find the emotion in something, and I just kind of work at it until I find it. So it's not like I don't really know where I'm going.
Mm,
I just kind of know when I get there. You know what I mean?
yeah. So in other words, you or Petty, you just can't sit down and go, okay, I'm gonna play A major chord, C minor
Yeah, I mean,
chord.
I know what emotions are housed in certain, kind of structures and stuff, but like generally speaking, I mean, it's even like I was working on a song with a buddy of mine, and like they wanted me to arrange it a certain way that I felt was more typical, which makes perfect sense, and I told him, I was like, I used to sit down and arrange songs like this. It's like how you would expect to hear the song. But now I don't really do it like that. I kind of just like, I don't really know what the answer is, even though I could tell you what I think you would think the answer was,
Mm,
and it's the same with melodies and all that stuff. It's like, I don't really know what the answer is anymore. I just kind of mess around and try to
yeah.
find something that's, it's just more creative for me, which you end up missing a lot because of that. But I think you also end up hitting more too, you know?
Yeah, I get it. I mean, the word vibe is like so overused now. So I hate to use it sometimes, but I just think it's appropriate here, you know?
Totally, totally.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're always trying to find that spirit that is, you know, that makes sense, that aligns with a vision of a song, you know?
that's great, Mark. And Mark,
Yeah,
this year, man, first time that you're touring in like 3 years, which is wild because
yeah,
you used to tour so much,
yeah,
obviously, and also the first time that you're touring as a father, man.
yeah, yeah. That's
And by the way, you're going to resume the tour. It ends February 11th in Ventura, California. You're playing with Matt Carney. Man, how has it been? You know, on several levels. First of all, you know, the grind, the master tour app guiding your life, and also like being a father and being away from like from your child, man.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that definitely is not, yeah, that part is not ideal, but I guess I'm just figuring out this thing that you can only figure out when you kind of start growing up, is that, yeah, everything you do has like some amount of like conflict or paradox to it. So, you know, it's like, I love being on the road, but I love being with my kids. I, you know, love being with my kids, but I love being on the road. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
tricky. It's not easy.
Is it like hard, basically?
Totally. No, it is. It
Yeah.
is. No, honestly, it's pretty fun. The first couple of days are kind of difficult usually, but
Yeah.
once I get past that, I'm pretty much like, okay, cool. We're just working, and then we get back home before you know it. You know,
I love it. I
it
love
all
it.
goes by pretty quickly, honestly, at this point.
I love it. And your kids know that like daddy, you know, kind of is going spreading his magic
Oh,
to the world, right?
still loves them. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, you know, I think they got some idea. They're a little young still, one and a
Sure.
half and 3.5. But yeah, they understand. They have an idea. My daughter's actually quite smart.
I love it. I love it, Mark. And man, we love seeing your creative process online. You share it so much openly in the social media, recording, production, all that stuff. But you know, man, in research, we never saw like we don't see a lot of your glimpse into songwriting. And you know, we had a friend of our show, Charlie Puth, like last month, and he said that he gets them like in the shower a lot of the songwriting ideas.
Say it one more time. I missed what you said. You said Charlie. I missed what you said about
Yeah,
Charlie.
no worries, no worries, no worries. You know, a friend of our show, we were talking about this last month, Charlie Puth, and he comes out with songwriting ideas in the shower.
Yeah, yeah. Totally.
Willie Nelson famously says that he goes for drives. Do you have any like discipline that like when you need a line, is it like gardening? Is it being with your kids? Is it, you know,
No,
barbecuing?
I think yeah. For me, it's just I definitely, it's not great to think about it too hard. I think that, yeah, for me, I just kind of, I like to have a guitar in my hands, and I like to like the guitar is essentially a distraction, you know, for me, because if I think about it too much, I'm noticing that if I pull out, it's not going great if I pull out like the rhyme dictionary and I start like looking for things that rhyme. I know that it's
Right.
funny, but it's like, that's generally not when I'm like writing my best songs. My best songs are kind of my subconscious speaking more than, you know, me trying to find like some word that rhymes.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. So when you go to your comfort, you stop yourself. You're like, that's not good.
I think so.
I dig that, man. I dig
Yeah.
that, dude. Also, man, like I have to give you props, but also like I wanted to ask you this. This is like you do it so well, but I get nervous. And what I'm talking about is the way that you use social media, I guess, to release new music, Mark.
Yeah.
Because you know the new ways of the industry, you manage them better than anybody I know. I mean, you know, obviously people release singles now, didn't wait around for the album. Your album
Mhm.
is coming though, but you know, you do it really well. You go on TikTok, you test out the songs with the audience in a really interactive
Mhm.
and fun ways, Mark. Um, you know, and you just seem to embrace it, right? Like you're very comfortable with that, like back and forth with the audience. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to kind of do, I guess, what everyone is doing at this point. You know, I mean, if I had my way, I would probably just make music, and, you know, no one would ever see me. But you know, it's not really the way the world works. So I try to adapt to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But don't you ever get nervous, Mark? Because, you know, like sometimes I read stuff on the internet and someone will be like, oh, I don't like when Jamie goes too personal or some shit like that. And
Right.
when I read these comments, sometimes it rattles me for a second. But tons of people do like it. And you know what I mean? So you can't let people influence. Like, what if you have a great fucking song
Yeah.
and some hater just kind of puts it down
Well,
forever?
the truth is, I don't really care if someone likes or doesn't like it. So I may be like, hey, what do you guys think of this? But I think that's just because I can't think of a better caption. I actually don't care if people like it or don't like it. That's not, I'm not actually there to see if people like it. Now, if there's like an exceptionally good response, then, you know, great. But like, or if it's an exceptionally bad response, I'll be like, I don't know, maybe I missed it, but like, I actually don't really care, honestly. So
I love
that's kind of a rhetorical question. So if I'm just being honest.
Hey, dude, and that's why we love you, Mark. And just seeing you here talk about music and the passion, it's like such an organic part of you, man. We love it, dude. Is
Thank you.
music consistently going through your head, Mark? I was thinking about that. Is it kind of
100%.
is it like a sweet churcher?
It's true that there's just always ideas running through my head for sure. And it's kind of a problem because like, I have a wife and 2 kids, and so like they need me for stuff, but like we'll be like packing up the car with the kids, and in my basement I have a piano right where our car is, like where you pull the car in, and like we were packing up the kids the other day. I was like, okay, hang on, let me get the kids in. I got this one idea I gotta do real quick.
It is kind of a little bit like obsessive compulsive disorder, right? Because like
Maybe
let's say
there's something wrong with me. Yeah,
like
definitely.
let's say you're on a dinner date with your wife or something, and I would think you'd be the kind of guy who gets distracted by the restaurant sounds or something, and maybe
100%. I mean, it's that, or I'm just thinking of like, I'm like humming a melody, and then I'm like, okay, when can I like, if I'm with a group of people, like when can I excuse myself to like go to the bathroom to record this idea in my phone real quick? That's the biggest thing, honestly.
That's amazing, dude. That's amazing. I love it, Mark. Well, Mark, let me ask you this. Obviously, the new songs are coming out and they're phenomenal as usual. Young, Wild, and Free. I love the spirit of that one, Mark.
Thanks, man.
But I think I wanted to ask you on a spiritual level. I mean, obviously, the song is about staying youthful and just living with passion and living life to the fullest and living with those you love. But I mean this, man. I'm not tooting your horn. You always, including right now, you're in such a great emotional state, Mark. You're when you're with your friends and everyone in Nashville, when we mention your name, whatever festivals or people just get a smile because you bring that in people.
Right.
How do you do it, Mark? I mean, like what is, people work out to be strong. How do you like work out that emotional muscle to be in such a good state?
Hey, ask me the question in other words.
Yeah, sure. Like how are you always in such great state? Basically.
Oh, like I'm faking it. No, I am. I'm just kidding. I think my songs are like aspirational. So it's not necessarily how I am all the time. It's just how I'd like to be. And I think like, I don't know, like I think with that song, that song is like, it's not so much that it's like a triumphant song. It's like more like you're aspiring to, be a certain way,
Yeah.
And I think, so I think that's kind of the heart of what I do is like aspirational on some level. Not that I can't go other places or that I haven't, but like, I generally feel like that's what I'm trying to push back. Maybe my music sounds hopeful because I feel like I'm trying to push back against maybe what would be my like nature to be more like pessimistic or whatever.
Was that your nature? Because I didn't meet you in that chapter.
Yeah. No, probably. I think I probably look at the world a little bit more of a cynical, negative way, but my music is like, it is like a rebellion to that type of attitude,
Yeah. Yeah. And like since you became a father, would you say that maybe, it's like a hack? If you can just go and play with your kids and,
I do love playing with my kids, but I'm trying to, not use my kids to like feel better. I'm trying to pour into them if I can, which requires me to be, functioning on some level, but it is that, it is a hack, it is a drug, but I'm trying to like give more than I take from them if possible.
I love it, Mark. Well, man, you have a busy day, and I know
man, it's a pleasure to see you again.
You too, man. You too. I hope we cross paths in 2023. I know you got a lot of great stuff coming up. So
I love it, man. Thanks so much, man.
Absolutely, Mark.
Thanks, bro.
You as well. Take care.